In this video, a seemingly deranged millionaire is spending a large chunk of his fortune in a desperate attempt to kill Tesla. There's definitely no conflicts of interest here, and if you happen to disagree by doing some research into Green Hill Software and discover anything at all to do with the company providing solutions for any of Tesla's competitors, including in the autonomy and advanced driver assistance domains, you are obviously mistaken, and somebody has clearly hacked the Green Hill Software website, proving that there's absolutely no chance at all that this clown is simply acting out of his own selfish interests in a hope to save his soon-to-be bankrupt company, having been disrupted indirectly by Tesla, who'll be putting most of their clients out of business. As you guys and girls will know, I'm an equal opportunity roaster here on solving the money problem. I like to give everybody a fair chance. However, two things really grind my gears. The first of them being people saying things that just aren't true. The thing that really gets me fired up is when dangerously stupid morons say things, take actions, spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt that will indirectly or directly lead to unnecessary suffering, including permanent injuries, disabilities, and death. This single pile of human excrement, of course, that's just my opinion, is intent on preventing Tesla from widely deploying their life-saving autonomous software. And clearly, as I said, there's no conflict of interest here. The guy's just trying to help save people's lives by keeping this extremely dangerous software off roads. He's not at all acting out of his own financial interest in an attempt to save his soon-to-be extinct company, and if you disagree with me, you're just an Elon D rider. And just a heads up, I posted another exclusive video to Patreon today, clocking in at over 20 minutes, reacting to an armchair Einstein explaining how Elon Musk is doing everything wrong. That's right, a double dose of dipshits today. One here on YouTube and the other on Patreon. And yes, just a quick reminder, the entry-level price to support the channel on Patreon and unlock all the exclusive content over there, well over 200 videos and counting, is increasing quite a lot on the 20th of November. So unless you're one of those, what do they call them, pay pigs that likes to get financially abused, I think that's a real thing. No judgment, just a bit of laughter. Sign up to Patreon now with the card in the corner or the link at the pinned comment, and I'll see you over there. And fair warning, today's exclusive Patreon video is the kind of shit that will definitely get me cancelled if I post it here on YouTube. So, trigger alert. So here we are over on the WAPO, not to be confused with WAP, which by the way, if anyone's wondering, an extremely family-friendly song is actually an instruction manual for men. On the Washington Post, the tech CEO spending millions to stop Elon Musk. Dan O'Dud. Sorry, I misread that. Scammo Clown. Oh, what's his name? Oh, Monty Burns. No, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to have some issues with this guy's name. It's hard to pronounce. Says Tesla's full self-driving software shouldn't be on the road. He'll keep running over test dummies until someone listens. When Dan O'Clown had his midlife crisis, he bought two near-identical Tesla Roadsters, the first model the electric car maker ever produced. This year, the 66-year-old tech entrepreneur added another to his collection. A Model 3 equipped with full self-driving Beta, a software program that allows the car to drive on its own on highways and busy city streets. The third Tesla is crucial for an unusual hobby. O'Dud is waging a multi-million-dollar campaign that definitely isn't an attempt to save his soon-to-be bankrupt business, to get Tesla's full self-driving software off the roads, before Tesla CEO Elon Musk follows through with plans to make the tech available worldwide before the end of the year. O'Clown, who made his fortune selling software to military customers, has been using the Model 3 to test and film the self-driving software. He's documented what appear, and keywords there being what appear, if you guys look into some of the videos that have come out of this steaming pile of human excrement, they are at best extremely dishonest and deceptive, and at worst, well, I'm not even going to say it because this petty turd might not like me pointing out the deceptive, dishonest tactics used in said videos would appear, until more closely examined, to be examples of the cars swerving across the centre line toward oncoming traffic, failing to slow down in a school zone, and missing stop signs. This summer, he triggered an uproar by releasing a video showing his Tesla, allegedly in full self-driving mode, by the way, fact check, not in full self-driving mode, falsifying the impression that it was in full self-driving mode, conveniently obscuring parts of the screen in the vehicle that would show whether or not the car was in full self-driving mode, in which the car behaved in certain ways that the car cannot behave while engaged in full self-driving mode. So again, I mean, that's my perception. I would have loved to see the raw, unedited footage from every angle to see that this was legit. There were so many fucking red flags that looked to me like a fraudulent video, a setup, attempting to convey something that wasn't actually reality. Of course, I could be wrong. I mean, it'd be great if Dan could just release the original video, all angles, and show us what actually happened, but I don't think that's going to happen. Mowing down child-sized mannequins. Quote, if Tesla gets away with this and ships this product, and I can't convince the public that a self-driving car that drives like a drunken, suicidal 13-year-old shouldn't be on the road. Hold up a second. How many fatal accidents involving a Tesla on FSD Beta so far? Zero. How many accidents would 100,000 suicidal 13-year-olds have that cause fatalities? A drunken suicidal 13-year-old, probably more than zero. So maybe not the best analogy. I'm going to fail. Well, hey Dan, Your whole life's a failure, bro. Dud said in an interview from his Santa Barbara office, where glass cases display his collection of ancient coins and auction-bought mementos from NASA moon missions. Clown has run nationwide TV ads with the videos and even launched an unsuccessful campaign for the US Senate. This is insane. As part of his one-man crusade to challenge what he sees as the cavalier development of dangerous technology. This is insane. Again, the way that this guy was skirting around, I don't even want to say too much, but this guy literally ran for the Senate simply as an effort to magnify his slander of Tesla's FSD software, in my opinion. For dud and other skeptics, the program is a deadly experiment foisted on an unsuspecting public, which is exactly why there's been so many deaths involving this experiment, amounting to, how many was it again? Let me just count them. Oh, that's right, 0. And how many people are currently operating this software on US roads? 100,000. So yeah, definitely a deadly experiment, as proved by the number of deaths this experiment has so far caused. 0, which I think is approximately the number of human beings on Earth who respect and admire Dan O'Dowd. A view underscored by a recently filed class action lawsuit and a reported Department of Justice investigation into the tech. So a class action lawsuit means nothing, nor does a reported investigation. You know what means something? Conclusions of investigations that say there's something there. Or successfully winning lawsuits, okay? This is a whole fucking nothing burger. Despite O'Clown's high-profile campaign and the concern from some regulators and politicians, who definitely don't own stock in any competing companies, especially LiDAR manufacturers, definitely not referring to Missy Cum Guzzler, I think I said that wrong. Whatever. Tesla is charging ahead with what it claims is world-changing technology. The company and its supporters argue that their approach will help usher in a future in which death from human errors on roadways is eliminated. Well, not quite eliminated, but dramatically reduced. We all know this. I mean, hello. 8 cameras, fast reaction times, it's inevitable. And that's the whole point. Those trying to slow progress of this technology have blood on their hands. People will die, people will be injured, people will be permanently disabled due to their semi-successful attempts to slow the progress of this technology being rolled out safely on roads. Again, how many fatal accidents again with FSD beta to date? That's right, 0. At the end of September, during a 4-hour event in which Tesla showed off its latest artificial intelligence tech, Musk said full self-driving is already saving lives and keeping it off public roads would be, quote, morally wrong. He's right. This is important. This is why I'm spending an entire video dumping on this steaming pile of human excrement known as Scam Clown. He's literally one of the worst human beings I'm currently aware of living on planet Earth. I actually mean that. The knock-on effects, if he's successful of scaring people away from this technology, slowing regulatory approval, countless lives lost, people injured and disabled, and worse than that, there will be consumers who see one of these dipshits' phony little fake videos, again, in my opinion, maybe they're real, and think, oh shit, this is so dangerous, I'm never going to drive a Tesla, they're so dangerous. Next minute, they buy a new vehicle, it's not a Tesla, fast forward a few months, fatal collision that could have been avoided by using a Tesla. Dead person, blood on Dan's hands. It is not only morally wrong, it is reprehensible. At the point of which you believe that adding autonomy reduces injury and death, I think you have a moral obligation to deploy it, even though you're going to get sued and blamed by a lot of people. He's right, and speaking of being sued, blamed, or attacked in this case, shout out to Scam Clown. Musk and Tesla, which does not typically answer media inquiries, did not respond to requests for comment. Readying full self-driving for worldwide deployment by the end of next month adds to Musk's heavy workload. On top of running Tesla and his other companies, SpaceX and Neuralink, he now owns and runs Twitter. Musk has also roped in Tesla engineers to help work on Twitter. Mr. Burns' request has prompted personal attacks and criticism from Musk's legions of supporters. Are they talking about me? Tesla sent O'Clown a cease and desist letter in response to his child mannequin test, and this week, O'Clown says a new ad he tried to run on Twitter was rejected. I wonder why. Could it be false and misleading? Nah. The irony, by the way, of this dickhead paying Elon's company Twitter to advertise to try and kill Tesla. The irony is not lost on this guy. But Tesla fans aren't his only critics. Safety experts have questioned whether rogue independent testing from a man who owns a company whose clients will be put out of business by Tesla in the near term and stands to lose a lot, allegedly, do your own homework, is the right way to spur tougher regulation. Quote, they're doing it on public roads. It still raises the same ethical issues that you're putting other people at non-consensual risk, said Phil Koopman, an associate professor at Carnegie Mellon University, who has studied autonomous car safety for years. I'm not a fan, no matter who it is. Quote, consumers should never attempt to create their own test scenarios. Now, I mean, this is a fair thing. Shout out to the faces at Conjob Reports, who literally made a step-by-step, point-by-point instructional video of how to temporarily skirt Tesla's driver monitoring software by faking hands on a steering wheel and literally said, hey, here's exactly how you can do this extremely dangerous things on public roads. Here's exactly what we did because we really care about safety. That's why we're making a fucking video explaining exactly how to do this extremely dangerous things on public roads because we really care about your safety. O'Clown's view that software should be developed methodically, ensuring it's fully secure before releasing it, is a stark contrast to the move fast and break things mantra that allowed companies like Google, Facebook, and Amazon to become the behemoths they are today. Tesla has taken that mantra and applied it to public roads, he believes. Again, that's why there's so many people who've died in fatal collisions with people operating Tesla's FSD beta software. How many was it again? Oh, that's right, 0. O'Dud's critics, reasonably, allege that his campaign against Tesla is self-serving. One of his customers, Intel-owned Mobileye, makes a computer chip that runs driver assist and self-driving software. O'Clown says Mobileye is just one of hundreds of customers and his motivation is driven purely by his concerns about the safety of Tesla's tech, not the future survival of his business, of which many customers are legacy automotive manufacturers. Again, Green Hill Software website, check it out yourselves, guys. You'll see a bunch of automotive brands there on the page. We do for this company and this company and this company. They're all companies that Tesla will be putting out of business due to having disrupted the automotive industry. But that's totally irrelevant though. It's not like it's a conflict of interest or a motivation for this guy to slander and tarnish Tesla's technology. Tesla cars have had a range of driver assist features for years, like lane keeping and automatic braking, called autopilot. Millions of vehicles in the US use advanced driver assist features, and more than 60% of the cars sold in 2021 had lane keeping. Data released by NHTSA in June showed that Tesla cars were involved in almost 70% of the 392 crashes involving advanced driver assist features reported over the previous 11 months. Now, just a quick caveat here. This particular piece of information is extremely deceptive and out of context. Why would that be? I'm not going to make a 400-hour-long video, but you guys should do some digging on this. In particular, exactly what other automotive manufacturers actually report, how they capture data, and so on, as the article goes on to reasonably point out. NHTSA also recorded 6 deaths dating back to 2019 involving the features, 5 of which were tied to Teslas. In other words, 5 people in Teslas had accidents because they were not using the software as instructed. Tragic, but people have accidents all the time. There's inevitably going to be accidents involving people driving Tesla vehicles, and of course they'll be reported as if these are the only accidents of any cars on the planet. Importantly, the data set doesn't account for how different automakers collect data, and this is important, making direct comparisons with other manufacturers difficult. That is an understatement. Again, look into this if you want to do your homework. I'm not going to get into it too long. Let's move on. But the company's full self-driving beta program, which is currently available to about 160,000 drivers in the US and Canada, goes further than anything else used by regular drivers on public roads, which is exactly why there's been so many fatalities. How many was it again? Alright, that's right. 0. Clearly extremely dangerous. Giving the car the ability to navigate through city and residential streets, stop for red lights and make turns on its own while following a mapped route. Quote, everybody thinks I'm exaggerating, but I've literally never seen a worse program in my life. You know what? If I was speaking about Dan O'Dowd, I would say I've literally never seen a worse human in my life, and definitely not exaggerating there either. I mean, we can see how bad it is. It's such a terrible program. There's been so many fatal accidents as a result. It's really bad. It should definitely be off-roads. He's right. Fixation on good code. As a teenager in suburban Michigan, desperate to see, if not touch, an actual tit in real life. I think I misread that. O'Dowd found a passion for coding, learning how to program on an IBM computer. The year after graduating from the California Institute of Technology, he designed his first debugger, a computer program that can run through another set of code and find its flaws. The process of methodically fixing errors fascinated him and set off a lifelong mission against what he sees as an epidemic of terrible, bug-ridden software infiltrating the world. In 1982, still having never seen or touched a tit, allegedly, he founded Green Hill Software in Pasadena, California, to make operating systems for the tiny computers that were beginning to pop up inside industrial machines, planes, ships, and trains. His super secure approach won over the US military, and his first big sale was to the maker of the B-1B supersonic bomber. O'Clown is no stranger to public fights. 2 decades ago, he wrote several blog posts saying that Linux, the free available to all operating system that was beginning to threaten his business, curious, business under threat 2 decades ago, starts talking smack, was dangerous because foreign spies could insert malicious code into it. His warnings mostly fell on deaf ears. Today, Linux is everywhere, and ironically, Green Hill's own software is capable of interacting with Linux programs, but O'Dowd's position hasn't changed. Linux may be fine for tools like thermostats, but when it comes to planes, power plants, and cars, he insists it's still dangerous. Scam O'Dowd owns most of Green Hills, which was worth just shy of $1 billion in 2019 when he sold a $150 million chunk of it. And yes, I can confirm, ladies and gentlemen, finally, after building a near $1 billion company, I can confirm Dan O'Dowd has not only seen but also physically interacted with a tit. Mission accomplished. There's hope for everybody. Beyond several houses in by the way, I don't know if he's actually interacted with a tit, I'm just assuming. Beyond several houses in Santa Barbara, he doesn't want to spend his money on the yachts and private islands other wealthy tech founders seem to delight in. Good for Dan. In the past, O'Dowd bought historical artifacts. He owns the world's most expensive coin collection and has both a Nazi-era Enigma encoding machine and a nearly intact fossilized Tyrannosaurus Rex skull displayed in his offices. Now, I'm not going to lie, sounds like a pretty cool collection. As he got older, O'Dud said he began looking for a more lasting project to spend his money on. About a year ago, a colleague told him about Tesla full self-driving videos online. O'Dud spent hours watching them and began to immediately panic. Oh, sorry, I didn't... Oh, wait, no, that's pretty much... And he was shocked by what he saw. The imminent bankruptcy of Green Hills Software. Sorry, I misread again. Quote, "Why would you put a car on the road that does something that would be illegal? That would cost you your license," he said. He decided to make Tesla software the centerpiece of a bigger campaign he has named the Dawn Project, an alleged charitable organization, apparently, to expose what he sees as incomplete and unsafe software being used in cars and power plants and in cybersecurity. Public testing in early 2016, a year after Tesla first launched Autopilot, Musk said the tech was already probably better than a human driver and predicted that in 2 years his cars would be able to drive themselves across the country. Clearly, Elon's optimism bias is a thing. I suffer from the same affliction. That hasn't happened yet, but the company has steadily upgraded Autopilot over the years, allowing drivers to give up more control over their vehicles. Though Tesla insists they must stay alert at all times, which is very important. Full Self-Driving Beta represents the latest version of Tesla's tech and is available to Tesla drivers who've already paid $15,000 for the regular version of Full Self-Driving and have a good safety score as measured by Tesla's in-car software. In an interview with the Tesla Owners Group posted in June, Musk said successfully building self-driving software is, quote, "the difference between Tesla being worth a lot of money and being worth basically zero." Autopilot technology has spurred several government investigations, including one from NHTSA that is looking at whether the tech played a role in Tesla's crashing into parked emergency vehicles, as opposed to the occupants of the vehicles not having their fucking eyes open while they were driving. Man, hello, no offense, but if you crash into a parked emergency vehicle, you're a fucking driver and you shouldn't be on the roads. How do you crash into a parked emergency vehicle if you're paying attention while you're driving? Answer, you don't. And yeah, of course, maybe look, if there's black ice on the road, that's an exception. Overall though, Tesla has benefited from a US regulatory vacuum where there are no rules against putting new driver assistance software out on public roads as long as the automaker specifies that the drivers stay alert at all times. Imagine that. Seems logical, right? Pay attention, it's okay. Auto safety rules were written well before the advent of cars that can make their own decisions, said Koopman, the auto regulations expert. The government moves at a glacial pace, now that's true. And the rules have in some ways become more permissive, Koopman said. In 2022, NHTSA said cars don't need to have a steering wheel and pedals anymore to meet safety standards. Now, bet you didn't know that. The regulatory pressure has been to make it easier, not harder. It's almost as if the regulators also know that this technology will save countless lives. NHTSA says that no vehicle available for purchase is self-driving and drivers are always required to stay attentive regardless of what technology their cars have. Duh. All-out war. O'Dud's strategy is straightforward. Fake proof that Tesla's software makes serious... Did I read that right? Yeah, I think I read that right. Fake proof that... Am I reading that right, guys? I'm pretty sure. Fake proof that Tesla's software makes serious mistakes and then get that fake evidence in front of the public and regulators. Yeah, sorry, guys. Sometimes I'm bad at reading words. You'll just have to make sure you look at the article to understand what it really said. He kicked off his campaign in July with a full-page ad in the New York Crimes, which alleged that the software makes a mistake every 8 minutes based on analyzing dozens of hours of YouTube footage. Fucking idiot. The ad demanded that regulators ban full self-driving from American roads based on a bunch of YouTube videos. And definitely not based on the countless fatalities that... Oh, that's right, because there haven't been any fatalities, have there? All he had was a bunch of YouTube videos. Then came his Senate campaign. Something he said was partly motivated by the fact that campaign advertising... And see, he even admitted this. It's unbelievable. That campaign advertising laws would make it easier for him to get his message out if he was technically running for public office. I mean, he literally admitted this. I told you guys, you got to look into this shit. I mean, fucking hell, talk about shady. He spent millions of dollars on ads that play on TV channels across the country. He's such a fucking dinosaur. Who watches TV anymore? The ads pull from videos of Tesla drivers having to intervene when their cars running full self-driving beta make mistakes. It's weird that his videos don't include the footage of all the fatal accidents from the drivers operating. Oh, that's right, because there's none. Another set of ads compares Musk's prediction for when his cars would be able to drive themselves to the reality that they still need close driver supervision. Yeah, that's right. Optimism bias, end of the world. Get this software off roads. Elon was too optimistic, therefore he's a fraud. Next, O'Dud began shooting his own videos. He hired a driver for his new Model 3 to do tests on public roads and closed courses. At one point, O'Dud was in the passenger seat when the vehicle began crossing the center line just as another car was coming in the other direction. The test driver grabbed the wheel and averted a head-on collision, according to O'Dud's recollections. One more time. According to O'Dud's recollections and dashcam video, conveniently not showing the full situation, reviewed by the Post. Quote, "It almost killed me," he said. Quote, "It's personal now." In addition to his ads and online videos, he sends the videos to NHTSA, imploring the agency to take action. Besides confirmation of receipt, he hasn't heard more from the agency. I think there's an automatic filter. Anything from Dan O'Clown just gets immediately trashed. where it belongs. NHTSA looks at all relevant information in its investigation. Sanchez, the agency spokeswoman, said, O'Dud has set up an entire media operation. Yeah, boy, this guy sounds a little bit deranged, doesn't he? Converting a large room in his company's office building into a TV studio, complete with a green screen and high-speed upload link. He's also hired public relations professionals and video editors. Here's a tip, Dan, from somebody who isn't a public relations expert. 99% of the public is looking at you thinking this guy is a pathetic loser. He feels like his company is threatened. He's so desperate, he doesn't know what to do other than try to kill Tesla's full self-driving software by spending a huge portion of his fortune running ridiculous ads and creating legitimate videos that really make sense. The whole world's laughing at you, dude. Not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. Deranged, pathetic old man. Campaign has gotten attention from Musk's many followers online. Some call Dan O'Dowd by the clunky nickname O'Clown. Musk himself has referred to O'Dowd on Twitter with the emoji for bat and poop, suggesting he's bat shit crazy. Fair. Although there doesn't seem to be much direct interaction between the two men. O'Clown says they've never spoken. We've got a tweet here from Whole Mars Catalog, LMFAO. Dan O'Dowd just went full Greenspan. If you guys don't know Greenspan, no comment. Definitely not deranged. Definitely doesn't have a fraudulent charitable organisation attempting to kill Tesla either. If you disagree with me, you're an Elon D writer. Don't look into that anymore, please. In August, O'Dowd released a video of his Tesla repeatedly hitting the child-sized mannequins. He set up the test. He certainly did set up the test. You see what I did there? At a closed course, then had his driver go down a lane of orange safety cones and engage full self-driving beta. When the video came out, skeptics accused him of rigging the test by not turning on full self-driving or by overriding it by having the driver press down on the accelerator pedal. O'Dowd says the test was legitimate and has begun running more with video cameras filming from more angles to back it up. Because in the original video, for some strangely convenient reason, everything that would have indicated whether or not A, full self-driving was actually engaged, and B, whether or not the driver was overriding it by pressing the accelerator, was conveniently obscured or cropped out. What a coincidence. Hours after O'Dowd released a video of his test, one of the best-known Tesla fanboys put out a call on Twitter for a real child so that he could run the test himself. In the test run by Omar, a 28-year-old software engineer who goes by the name Whole Mars Catalog and frequently clashes with O'Clown and other Tesla critics, the car spotted the child and wouldn't move forward. Fancy that. Omar views O'Dowd as just another anti-Tesla character, standing in the way of progress, but doomed to fail. Quote, this is something that can't be stopped by Dan or anyone else. Quote, I think putting something out now, even if it's imperfect, it really has a lot of benefits. O'Dowd said he wants to do the test again, this time with media, regulators, Tesla supporters, and even Musk himself in attendance, so he can erase whatever lingering doubts there may be. You know another way to address any lingering doubts about your methods, Dan? Don't intentionally put something over the screen and block out the parts of the display that would show whether or not full self-driving is engaged. Transparency, it's actually not that hard. Omar, for his part, isn't worried O'Scam will get the program banned anytime soon, despite his incessant lobbying. O'Dowd has been talking their ears off. Everyone who will listen, and they have not banned it, he said. Indeed. So another day, another deranged Tesla hater who doesn't have any conflicts of interest and isn't desperately concerned for the future viability of his business, whose customers include numerous legacy automotive manufacturers and Mobileye developing their own autonomous software, embarrassing himself, spending a huge portion of his fortune, many millions of dollars, attempting to kill Tesla. The unfortunate news for Dan is that the data is actually on Tesla's side. Someone remind me how many fatal accidents so far involving FSD beta? Oh, that's right, 0. The only thing this guy is accomplishing, other than self-immolation and embarrassing himself, is to simultaneously destroy his credibility and legacy. I respect the guy for having built a near billion-dollar software company, but I don't respect the amount of blood this guy has on his hands, attempting to kill Tesla's life-saving, injury-preventing, disability-avoiding software. Fuck this guy. He's a bad person. End of story. And lastly, don't forget, the clock's ticking. Join Patreon before November 20th, or join later and pay more. Choice is yours. As I mentioned, I posted another exclusive video clocking in at over 20 minutes today on Patreon before I posted this to YouTube, because that's how I roll. So, see you over on Patreon. Love ya.